99.9% of the universe. Chapter 98. The Final Threshold. The universe was vast, ancient, ordered. For eons, the United Galactic Concordat (UGC) had maintained stability across its countless member species. Each race followed the laws of physics, their biology dictated by strict environmental tolerances. The great empires of the cosmos had risen, warred, and settled into an uneasy truce, understanding that expansion had limits. But then, the humans arrived. They were a species from a world classified as a Category 5 death zone, a place where gravity was stronger than galactic norms, where temperatures swung wildly, and where radiation levels should have ensured evolutionary stagnation. Yet, despite all logic, life had not only endured, it had thrived. At first, the UGC dismissed humanity as an anomaly, an evolutionary accident that would burn out before it could pose a threat. Then came their colonies, on barren moons, toxic exoplanets, even inside gas giants where no sentient race had ever dared to tread. Humanity was different. It didn't ask if a world was habitable. It simply made it so. The Last Stand. Admiral Drevin stood on the bridge of the Valzar, watching the void distort as the last Terran fleet emerged from subspace. He had fought them for nearly a century, watching in horror as every attempt to contain them failed. It wasn't just their technology, it was their mindset. The UGC had always believed in limits. Humans didn't. Admiral, his second-in-command, Vashik, whispered, his voice betraying unease. "They've brought terraformers." Drevin narrowed his eyes at the display. He had expected warships. He had expected orbital bombardments, desperate invasions. What he saw instead sent a chill through his four hearts. Massive industrial ships, bristling with planetary engineering tools, spread out across the system. Asteroid refineries, atmospheric processors, self-replicating nanofactories, all descending toward planets the UGC had marked as permanently uninhabitable. "This was supposed to be a graveyard," Drevin murmured. "No world here can sustain life." The humans knew, and they didn't care. A conversation at the end of an era. A transmission request flickered on the screen. The signal came from the lead Terran ship, the Endeavour. Drevin hesitated, then accepted. Admiral Jonas Carter's face appeared, a man older than the war itself, his weathered features marked by countless battles. Yet he didn't look like a conqueror. He looked bemused. "You're late to the party, Admiral," Carter said, leaning back in his chair. "We're already breaking ground." Drevin clenched his mandibles. "You know this is an act of war." Carter chuckled. "Drevin, the war's over. It's been over for years, you just didn't realize it." He gestured to the colony ships descending into the system. "You thought this was about conquest. It never was. It's about survival, expansion, evolution." Drevin's hands tightened into fists. "You cannot keep taking what doesn't belong to you." Carter shook his head. "We're not taking anything. We're building, creating, adapting." Drevin slammed his fist against the console. 99.9% of the universe is uninhabitable. Do you not understand that? Carter's grin widened. And yet, we're still here. The final threshold. The transmission cut. Drevin turned back to the viewport just in time to witness the impossible. One of the Terran colony ships, a massive world-seeding vessel, was deploying atmospheric processors into the event horizon of a rogue black hole. No species in the known galaxy had ever attempted such madness. And yet, the ship remained intact. Gravity-resistant shielding held firm. Energy was siphoned from the accretion disk itself, feeding the massive engines of the construct. They weren't just colonizing dead worlds anymore. They were rewriting the laws of physics to make them livable. Drevin's legs felt weak. The war wasn't lost. The war had never even mattered. Humanity had already won. They weren't just surviving. They were claiming the 99.9% of the universe. No one else ever could. And nothing could stop them now.